There have been rare instances when poker games are shut down, and even rarer are those when the reason for the ban is world-famous poker players. But let's all face it, poker players can make mistakes, including getting poker games to get banned, right? Well, as long as they're not as bad as the ones Garrett Adelstein made. Garrett Adelstein was born on May 16, 1986 in Tucson, Arizona, and has become one of today's most prolific high-stakes cash game players, excelling in the live cash game atmosphere. He succeeded academically, graduating as valedictorian from a high school of almost 500 students. He earned a summa cum laude with honors degree in marketing and entrepreneurship from the University of Arizona in Tucson. By the time he graduated from college in 2008, he was an ardent poker player who spent the most of his time online playing heads-up no-limit hold'em. While his current poker prowess is well known, it wasn't always easy for the young player who grew up playing online cash games just to have it all taken away on Black Friday, April 15, 2011. He was able to transfer into and conquer the world of live poker after years of dealing with depression and striving to better himself as a poker player and a person. He improved his poker skills throughout the years, and his determination to be the best catapulted him to the top. But at the same time, his poker career had some pits and bumps. One of them was he was the very reason for getting a poker game banned altogether. Everyone wants to know that story, so let's dig in to see what we can find. Garrett Adelstein claimed he was clearly cheated in one of the world's largest and most famous cash games. But we can't decide anything unless we go to the backstory of how it all started. He was a regular at the 24-hour Hustler Casino in Gardena, California, a luxury venue that offers Hustler Casino Live, a live stream featuring some of the country's greatest poker players competing in no-limit Texas Hold'em tournaments. The very place where the scandal rooted from and only exaggerated. During a hand on a webcast, he was shocked when his semi-bluff shove with 8 high and a combination draw was called by a new player, Robbie Jade Liu, who had jack high for a pot of $269,000. He and Liu played a heads-up hand which sparked the issue. Liu compared Adelstein's $3,000 pre-flop raise from the $800 straddle with the jack of clubs and a 4 of hearts to the more experienced pro's 8 of clubs and 7 of clubs. He risked an additional $2,500, obviously confident in his hand's potential due to the open-ended straight flush draw. Though Adelstein's hand had not yet been formed, a club, particularly the 6 or the jack which Liu possessed, would give him a significant edge. A 6 or jack in any suit would also give him a straight. With jack high, Liu called his bet. Adelstein kept the pressure with a $10,000 bet on the turn, which Liu increased to $20,000. Garrett contemplated his next move and went all in with a semi-bluff, which meant that even though his hand had not yet been formed, there were enough excellent cards still in the deck for him to complete it. If Liu wanted to make it to the showdown, she had to commit the remaining $109,000 of her whole stack. Bart Hansen, an HCL commentator, didn't expect Liu to call. After all, she still had jack high no draw and would have had to hope for a pair on the river. Liu, on the other hand, wanted to see it. That is, she was considering paying Adelstein off only to see what his hand was, and appeared to talk herself into making the strange, wild, and amazing call. The players decided to run the river, the final card, twice, but both cards proved ineffective, leaving Adelstein with 8 high. Meanwhile, Liu flipped over her cards to reveal jack high, causing amazement among those at the table, particularly Adelstein. The reason for the skepticism is because regardless of his hand, modern poker theory says Liu should have folded rather than betting her whole stack of chips. This is because according to DraftKings, Liu would have lost to all made hands, including complete houses, overpairs, and other pairs, as well as several of his bluffs. According to DraftKings, there were almost 150 chances for her to lose her hand and only 6 ways to win. Nonetheless, she emerged victorious. "I don't understand what's happening right now," a perplexed Adelstein spoke while the cameras continued to roll. He questioned her reasoning for calling. "I thought you had ace high," Liu said. "So why call with jack high?" He argued that jack high would have lost to ace high. "Because you don't have shit," Liu said. He then left the table. Liu eventually left to speak with Adelstein and an HCL producer. A player named Rip then got up to join Lou and could be heard ranting at him, who returned to the table to gather his chips and leave the game. It turned out that he left with the chips he had lost to Lou, but it's unclear whether she voluntarily offered to return the chips or if there was another motive. Eric Persson, a poker player who watched the hand while participating in the HCL game, commentated to the other players at the table, "She should never have given the money back. It makes you look guilty." For Lou, she played the hand the way she did because she suspected his hand was inferior to hers. "Get over it," she commented on Twitter before asking Adelstein to return the money she had earned from him. When a follower asked why she returned his money, Lou responded, "How do you keep a grown man from throwing a tantrum?" She also tweeted, "As a woman in a male-dominated sport, it's hard enough to stand up against the table bully." Lou went on to say that her decision was based on past experiences with Adelstein, implying that she was aware of his wide poker ranges and that Jack High might have been the correct move in any case. However, he remained skeptical and accused Lou of foul play in a lengthy Twitter statement. "Poker is an extremely complicated and nuanced game." He stated that Lou's hand had very little equity and should not have been played by the turn. Adelstein analyzed her previous techniques and stated that he is aware of how someone could cheat during a live webcast. He suggested that this may involve a hidden device that simply vibrates to indicate you have the best hand. He added, "Another common way of cheating is if someone has the technology to know who will have the best hand at Showdown by hacking into the card reader." He presented no evidence that Lou had done either of those things. "I immediately felt very concerned about foul play," he said. He also stated that he spoke with HCL co-owner Ryan Feldman and Lou. Adelstein said he told Lou, "Robbie, this is likely to be viewed by millions of people. I think you know now, you f***ed up." He then stated that Lou offered to pay back his share of the money. Knowing A, this was likely the closest I would get to a confession, and B, how impossible it is to get refunded in these cheating scandals, I took her up on her offer. He went further, "Once she offered, of course I'm going to accept my money back after being clearly cheated." HCL issued its own statement saying that it would not welcome either player back to the show until the matter had been adequately reviewed. "We completely understand the magnitude of the situation and the accusations," said HCL in its statement. "We take this extremely seriously. At this point, we have no proof either way or any indication of any wrongdoing besides the accusations of parties involved." Adelstein is a crusher on the HCL show. According to TrackingPoker.com, he is the most successful HCL guest, having made $1,657,075 from 52 live stream appearances. Prior to Thursday's program, the same source said that Lou had appeared twice and won $101,650. In response to the claim, Lou appeared certain that she would be vindicated and invited Adelstein to a heads-up game in which the whole world can watch me read you all day. What do you think about this poker scandal? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel before you leave.